Good morning, we're starting our walk today at Lewes station in deepest darkest Sussex. Turning right out of the car park, take your very first right into a footpath on Pinwell Street. Entering Lewes railway land, follow whichever path you like because they all lead to the river eventually. Looks quite pleasant on a snowy morning, doesn't it? As you walk through the park, you start to get the first views of the cut through the South Downs. And as you come out, there you are, onto the Ouse, the Sussex Ouse, none of your Yorkshire rubbish. You're turning right, heading south towards the sea. Has to be said, it might be a gloves on day today. And yes folks, here it is, what you've been waiting for, today's first moody reflective shot of the day. There'll be a lot of looking backwards today because, as you can see by my shadow there, it's a really low morning sun. Apparently that was from Grand Designs or something, you know, type of thing, people going broke on television. But there's a lovely view here across the wetlands, up to Lewes Castle. So still onwards and southwards. So just over a mile in and you pass under the railway. Very shortly under the A27. But as I say, just follow the river. Coming out from under the bridge with the A27 upon it, which you can probably hear in the background. The Ouse Valley opens up before you, onwards and southwards. Now there is a perfectly well made path, but where the dike comes up here, it kind of separates you from the eastern views. We've all seen a grass bank, but the joy of the Ouse Valley and the South Downs is not to be missed. It's a weird weather day today. Well, I can feel while I'm stopped that it's hovering around zero. And I would normally put a hat and gloves on. With the old burning gas up there, as you walk along, it's still doing its job from 93 million miles away of warming things up. So you stop like this and it's coat on, and then you start walking and it's hat off, gloves off, sleeves rolled up. It's bonkers. An hour in and the tide's starting to run, and that river does that really weird thing of flowing the wrong way. And as you get further in, you see back along the floodplains, the downs to your left and in front of you as you're walking, and Lewes and all its things in front of you as well. It's just glorious. Away from all the people now, and then you can't get away from the railway line, which is just the other side of the river, and the roar of the A27 in the distance. It is fairly peaceful. Look, more people in the distance. People of good taste, obviously. Never going to be doing that sort of speed all the time I'm breathing. So, just after the 4 mile point, you come to South Ease. Now you can break your journey here and catch the train back to Lewes. You're 4 and a bit miles in, probably pushing 5 by the time you get to the station, which is over there somewhere. And if you're carrying on to Newhaven, as I am, you kind of need to cross the river here and go onto the east bank. Breaking news, everybody, it's a swing bridge. So I'm definitely going to go across it and go down the east bank. You could carry on walking down the west bank, but there's a stretch of road to do, which I really don't want to do today. And that would take you into Newhaven. We have to walk along the road to Piddinghoe. So I'm going to walk across the swing bridge and carry on down the east bank. Yippee-yi-yay! nature of the river changes here. I mean, the tide is running full on, but where we've got managed banks both sides, from here I presume all the way down, the west bank still has the old way of flooding onto the floodplains. Five miles in, destination in sight, really quite a way in the distance. You can just see the edge of the Seven Sisters. God, those Pidding Hoe doing their job. 6 miles in, we're leaving Pidding Hoe. Googly Maps tells me it's 1.5 miles to Newhaven, but no doubt that's down the road because it doesn't understand footpaths. So, probably 2 miles down the ever meandering Ouse, with a lovely view of what I presume is a recycling centre. Okay, so when you get to the North Quay Energy Recovery Centre, whatever that means, you need to be hanging yourself a left up the footpath that takes you towards little green fellow who's going to take me home. Well, I wasn't going to unless it turns around to Newhaven. And head inland. So, say ta-ra to the Ouse. Tide is fully in now, and the river is flowing in its proper direction. So, here we are, and as Tufty said, look left, look right, look left again, and if all is clear, please cross. Now the Twitten, turn right and follow it to the end of the road. If you don't know what Twitten is, you're not from Sussex, so Google it. T-W-I-T-T-E-N. So the last yards, a bit of a grim urban track, but I suppose after 6.5 miles of loveliness by the river, this is payback time. Joys, this is Newhaven Port. Please it would seem that it's fair flag shaggers, even though so much of its money that comes in comes from abroad. Never ceases to amaze me. At this point, you do need to be on the western side of the road. You can see the stations to my right. I'm just hoping that somebody remembered there's such things as pedestrians. But there's a pavement here, gives me a little hope. So as thought, this isn't a pleasant crossing. There are pavements, but the crossing is not designed for people at all, just cars. Anyway, here we are at Lewes railway station. Lewes railway station? No, I'm not. I'm at Newhaven town, not Newhaven port, Newhaven town. And getting a train back to Lewes from here. Well, I can find a ticket machine.